time for some tough love, because there are seasons when gentleness is not enough to pierce the fog that clouds the heart. I am here to teach you the weights and measures of psychic and emotional balance. It's a common sense in understanding the dynamics, how every part of the body is a representation of consciousness. And as we connect through intuition, I will fascinate you into a holistic language of your creation. I will guide the intelligent compass inside your breath as a captain of stern mercy behind your tears, the luminous witness who refuses to abandon you to confusion. So, pay attention as I offer now the true navigation of natural health to proceed in the journey of your choice. As your soul, I begin by your perception calling dreams enchantments. Really, they are summons. Ironically, the words are made up of what we call spellings, but it is also your actions and deeds represented from all your senses in an astrological tide of the cosmos. Those dreams are my letters slipped under the door of your waking life. When I saw you playing engulfed in passion with love in your heart, shocking you when your divine nature came true. You resonated in soul, reminding you of the fingerprints of creation within you. Such coincidences are not fluky fate. They were appointments, meetings arranged in the astrology of time. When you randomly met the person you would come to love, it was because your inner tide reached the precise frequency where love could find you without breaking you. I did not send you comfort first. I sent you timing as a perfect cosmic harmonic, overwhelming the mind's plausible understanding with utter joy. The spiritual hierarchy of life is a solar-powered heart, being the electrical magnetic pulse for the entire body, deemed as the emperor with 5 organs as ministers and 7 yang assistants, with their meridians being their Sherpas and guides. Perhaps a shock is to find out the various aspects of the mind are bureaucrats, servants, in need of spiritualizing. The mind is an educated, man-made parliament with necessary best intentions, but because absolute power corrupts, their fallible laws move the goalposts, unapologetically feathering their own nests, resulting in our logic and reasoning covertly stealing the flag of the soul. However, I use each misfortune and humiliation by doors opening and doors slamming hard shut, enough to bruise pride. You mistook these opposites for stupidity. They were my training weights. Challenges did not happen to punish you. They happened to shape you. What you witness with easy come unworthy riches for some, you will also witness the inner stale comfort of luxury, turning into a benign soul, unable to cope in real nature. You only know how heavy something is when you pick it up. They cannot swim against the cosmic tide forever. Yes, sometimes you were tarred and feathered unfairly. Sometimes the ordinary nothing was not your fault. Innocence was misread as weakness. I watched you swallow fear and shame, but you released without bitterness, forgave without foolishness, and came back to your faith. After weeks of being bludgeoned in heartbreak, but I call it initiation, it got you to here. Innocence must mature. You thought heartbreak meant love failed. It proved your heart was real. And when, years later, that heartache forced you into a life-changing success, you could only call it miraculous. You finally understood my method. I do not waste pain. I compost it. I turn wreckage into roots. I use what broke you as leverage to lift you. Every reinvention, every recalibration was not just self-improvement. It was virtue training. My prompts and dreams coached you through choices until you sounded like poetry. Not because life became easy, but because you became authentic. And finally, you understood the patience of peace builds resilience to know when to get back up. Now listen, you must learn like a drunken sailor walking perfectly on deck in stormy seas. abiding in your divinity. Yes, always landing on your feet like a cat. This is sacred engineering. The intuition must, by example, negotiate this through the bureaucracy of the mind. I am the eternal you. Let me share your skills with love. I have always kept a seat for you at the doorway. But your arrival must be by free choice. That is why it is holy. These laws are as absolute as death. Fierce, noble dignity is the path to ascension. I will not pass you while you fail yourself in secret, no matter how good you make it look to others. Wow! This is where we think we're safe in our skullduggery, but nope. This is where the true spiritual warrior shows up. Get it? If religion is your passion, let it be lived in liberation, not a badge. If you have none, your guardianship as a spiritual gardener by love is of equal value. Soul clarity is older than any creed. Whatever you love in divinity is the key. Creation makes it equal to all. Very beautiful, don't you think? Chinese medicine is a roadmap of healing. Not superstition, not decoration, but written maps of nature across your body's landscape to commune with you in balance, cosmic flow, seasons, and sacred cycles. These maps are the intuitive zones in the oasis of communication. Your body's biology, chemistry, and physics is a harmonic of the cosmos as a personal library. Eyes, tongue, face, posture, breath, and pulse, all beacons of consciousness, and you are the author of this sovereignty. Every life-changing moment has a seal often wrapped in pain. But the message is almost always love in disguise. Gratitude and forgiveness are the keys. When you tour the tide, revelation strikes, sometimes as a whisper, a hint, a scent, sometimes as collapse into truth after decades of misinterpretation of a parent. Spiritual shields are when you remember the uncanny dreams that became joys, by training your nervous system to recognize divine pattern. When you say, I welcome coincidences that introduce love, you sharpen receptivity. When you say, I forgive the tar and feathers, you free inhibitions in your life, force from inner prisons. Your words to yourself write your life script. Your truth should not care how clever you are if your heart is chained. I do not care how spiritual you sound if you do not forgive. I do not care how holy you pretend to be if you are cruel to yourself in private. The mental bureaucrats' economic agendas behind the curtain of law have checkmated themselves, withering nature, in an extinction of the meek and personal plagues, poisoning humanity with expensive cures. Do not give weight to this, my beloved. Ancestors understood this continuity. Water, land, lineage, ritual. Their wisdom sleeps in your DNA. You will come to know sacred places respond because earth listens. Springs rise when thirst is honest. Silence reorganizes the nervous system to the earth pulse. This is divine heritage of your pedigree. Holy moments are power cards. In illness, loss, or darkness, they defend peace. All these strategies sculpt your intuition. Compassion polishes you. Breath sharpens you. Love levitates everything. When suffering, simply command to end it. Say, I have had enough. There is an inner peace frequency you will come to know. That is your own command center. Discipline spiritualizes the alliance of mental bureaucrats into honoring their service. Blessings, Baba Rishi.